Alrighty. We are back. And we're going to take a look. And what we're going to end up doing is we're going to be working on our Ghost Arc. We're going to do a couple of things here, hopefully. At least one of the things. We're going to do some dry brushing on some of these guys. And get my... No, I don't. Premium. Got it. Whatever. There we go. So we're going to go through and we're going to paint some of these guys up. So these are the guys that are, we can get them focused. There we go. And so these are some of the Necrons that are going to be on the Ghost Arc. We've got 10 of them. And then we also have the Ghost Arc itself. So I think what we'll end up doing, let's just do some of these guys. I mean, we'll give it a shot. With that, we're going to need some stuff. We're going to need a dry brush. We're going to do some dry brush stuff. If I can get my dry brush. That one, that one. I guess I'll use that one. I mean, that's a little thick. Maybe I could use, well, we got a small one. So you use a small one like that. And then, like on these other ones that I used here, what I ended up doing was doing some gold. And as you can see, but the primer on this was black. And then I went through with a pearl black from Arteco, and then I dry brushed on the gold. So I think I'm gonna try skipping doing the black pearl and just kind of going straight to the gold. So I'll shake up the paint a little bit there. It's been sitting for a minute. And then with these guys, should be easy to dry brush. Just use a little brush like this. And yeah, we should be good. Pick this little thing up. I don't know how well this is going to work. Let's try a little bit of water. I think this pad is going to be too thick, but we'll give it a shot. I just soaked all that right up. So we just want a little bit of water on there. I think I actually got a bit too much. I think that'll work. If not, we'll find out real quick. So the whole idea is to take our gold, just kind of dabber brush so it's a little damp. And we've got our little dry brush forward here, and we'll go. Our silicone here, we'll just add some. There it is. This is I do have that thing in there, so that we'll end up doing this. We'll just grab a little bit of this. Move on to our brush. I'll just kind of go over. Don't necessarily need this. But what we can end up doing here, we can just and just kind of, what we'll do is we'll just kind of do a little bit of airbrush or dry brushing on this. And then we can go back with his skeleton. We can hit up the different parts with like the skeleton bone. Look there. Will it focus? That's the question. Focus there for us, buddy. So you get kind of a blackish type of gold. So just kind of then we can go back later. We can hit up the other parts of the skeleton. I think that'll be good. So again, just a quick little dab. Just go to town. Just taking it easy today here in Korea. It's pretty crazy hot out. So you just kind of get this guy going. Dry brush will be pretty quick. Get these guys out. Go back, like I said, we'll hit like the skeleton parts of him. Should be good. Could even go back with a little bit of like a little bit of silver to do some highlighting, but he's going to be in the arc, so like a troop transport type of thing. So not going to go too crazy with him. Like the other guys, we're just going to, and of course now that I know what I'm doing, because I practiced on the other ones, this isn't going to be as bad. We know what we need to do, we can just kind of knock it out. Be done. Like I said, we're not going to go too deep into detail like we would with main characters or overlords or things like that. It's almost like that black comes out like a bronzish. George popped in and said hello. Back. Just trying to knock out some of these Necrons with a ghost arc. So these will go pretty quick. Spot. Like the Necrons because they kind of remind me of like the Alien artwork. I gotta do some painting tonight. Oh, you What I forgot. I gotta go to the store and get some some Play-Doh or something. Some kids like modeling clay. So I got to use that for my base for my painting class that I'm going through to learn how to paint. I need to zoom in on this. I think I might have to. This is like, yeah, maybe I need to zoom in just a little bit more. See how that goes. So that way we get a little bit of a better view. See how it goes. Kind of like this. One of the supports on the pegboard that I have. It's got like a brace. I always hit it with my foot. So I need to get some type of cover on it or something. Really want to get the front of these and the top. Kind of shiny. Stop dropping them. Just a bit of touch up on these. So I kind of big back is top and the fronts are kind of shiny. So that'll set those guys apart. At least try to keep it shiny on this top part here. I can hold on to the brush, see if I can do that. We might even go through and do a little bit of silver dry brush, maybe try to create some depth. Let's see. Good there. We are good. Good, good, good. That's going to be, yeah, it's watertight. Okay. Good to go. I need something to clean. So it's going to be, yeah, that's acrylic paint too. Imagine that. Just a quick wash of that. See how that goes. Drain it later. So I think we did okay on these guys. And let's see if we can get the. So we'll do that, and then maybe a little bit of. We'll have to go through and do the. Go back. Do the eyes with some white and back with some tesseract color for that. And or we could also do a little bit of maybe tesseract and this. Ooh, also got the fluorescent green. So we can do like fluorescent green or airbrush. See if we can't get a little bit of over object source lighting or at least the glowing eye sockets. We could do that. Let's see. I'm going to kind of move on to this with our ghost arc. So the ghost arc is coming out pretty good. We had some issues with the guns and the rotation, and if you look on where the guns are connected and the little piece in between, you can see on the sides that they're super glued. And because putting this together and then priming it, primer, they're supposed to move as the guns can go kind of like that, but it ends up that the paint, the primer paint, kind of locks some of those in place. And then you put the guns on there, and they didn't end up working well at all. So, damn it. Dicking around with stuff again because it wasn't perfect. So, yeah. But then these guys are going to go in. And so, like right in the side of these, there's a little little notch that they will go in. And so they will look like that. They'll have a row of 5 on one side, a row of 5 on the other. So that should come out pretty good. So this will turn out nice. The interesting thing on this is going to be what color we're going to use here. And that is going to be the interesting part. Because on the picture of it, it ends up, it shows that it has like a, if you can see that, it's kind of like got gray. And then we've got like black with some, I don't know, types of little blue lines or whatever. Kind of reminds me of titanium blue or something. But these are definitely gray. So I think we're going to end up doing, we'll try to dry brush these gray and we'll see what happens with that. Yep, it's hot here in Korea. An emergency warning. So I'm going to need some paint. And we got a choice of paints. We got to do regular paints or we can do airbrush paint. I think we'll do regular. I've got them all packed away in my thing because I was going to go painting tonight. But since the kind of color that we want is a grayish, we have an ash gray. So we got an ash gray color. Gunmetal, we don't want that. We've got a uniform gray, which is darker. And then we got Necromancer Cloak, which is really dark. So we got these three. I think what we'll do is let's try the Necromancer Cloak, and then we'll see how that works out. We can give that a shot, dry brushing it, and then we can always go back with some of these lighter colors to do like the edge highlighting or another round of brushing. Bigger dry brush. Yeah. So get a little bit of that going on. It should be okay. George does nice music in the background. Yeah, I tried to find some decent music in the YouTube audio library that was copyright free. So I think I picked out like 3 or 4 different ones and put them in a playlist. We'll see how those end up going. Okay. So let's get our paint. Necromancer Cloak. And let's see how this turns out. Still needs to get stirred up a little bit. That's pretty dark. That is dark. We'll give it a shot and see. Worst case, we could always just kind of add in a little bit of a lighter color. Here. this turns out. I think that's gonna work. Might not be wide enough. That's do a test run, see how this turns out. It just ends up it's like really wet. I'm really seeing much on there. Let's go for uniform gray because I think this is to work. Next, make sure, let me shake that up real good. Okay, I think that's going to look good. Make sure that this is, that was kind of wet. Get to our dabbing. Of course, this is a bigger brush as well. Oh yeah, I think this is going to be better. So, yeah, I think this is going to work. Yeah, we get some gray on here. It'll look good. We can automatically see we're getting a little bit of gray on there compared to it's, in real life, it's not as drastic as what it seems on the video. A little bit of gray action on here. See? Damn it. Son of a bitch. Arjo. How's that one I messed with? Yeah, I should have messed with it. Stop messing with it, Wilson. Oh, yeah. Fun stuff. It's almost like it would be better to paint this without the guns first. That's what I'm seeing. That's okay. We'll just have to. We'll just put up with it. Just do a little bit. Good thing is it's not too big. So, not too bad. And then we got to get this side. Oh, this gray is working out better, that's for sure. Just not gonna get too crazy on this. Again, when I was looking at this, I was like, is this going to be something that I want to paint the horseshoes separate, or because I did seriously think about that. And yeah. I'm not going to go too crazy with this guy, that's for sure. I mean, I've already thought about going crazy with this. And I was like, don't. But I do want to get some decent paint on it. Big centerpieces or bigger models. I think it's coming out pretty good. So focus. We got some decent one side. if we can keep from breaking another gun on this other side. That would be a good thing. Don't break the guns. Did the one. There's going to be so much super glue on that. It's going to be crazy. Look okay. We get some different colors on here as well. Coming along. Back when I did a little bit too much. Oh well. Oh well. Who cares? Just kind of, as long as we get a little bit of different coloring on there, I think we'll be all right. I just don't want everything to be black. Okay, that'll work. That will work. Let's reactivate a little bit of gray on here. Okay, I think we're doing all right. Let's go back and get that one up again. Gun, fix that up. Yeah. Not right now. That wasn't too bad. Wasn't too much. Yep. The little ones aren't bad. It's just the big one. And some antibiotic ointment on there. That one's not bad. Just the big one. Thank you. Yeah.
Just be careful.
Yep. That's the plan. Let's get this gun super glued on here. So that way I don't break it off again. Just stop touching it, Wilson. Go figure. Okay. I think we're good on that. Okay, so now we can do that. I guess we could go through. I'm not sure what colors I want to paint on this because the gun, that's just troop carrier. Where's the box? What's the box look like? It just looks like a big mess of green, like black and green on here, black and green. The gun is kind of silvery-ish. They did a little bit of silver or gold on some of that, which is going to be some of these. I don't know if I'll do that or not. But we got all of these here. So the glowing orbs on top, that's going to be good. On the console, the top there, of course the guns are going to have some glow. So I think we could, maybe we could do some of those pieces. We could try to do that in maybe a gold as well, or bronze. Maybe we could do something different. We could make these guys like the gold. Well, we still got to go back and we got to do some washes on that. So we might do that. But that piece there, we could try a bronze. Why don't we give that a shot and see how that goes? Oh, let's see. Do we have bronze? That's the question. We have some weapons bronze. That's really bright. And then we've got greedy gold, which is going to be gold. And then, of course, we have gunmetal, silver. And we have that we could do that. The bronze we might try. There's some other. Do we have some other colors? I think we do. Looking at my speed paints, we got like a Talos bronze. Black, I'm not sure that would work out. Or airbrush. We have browns and flesh. We got, that's a red. Charred bone. Colors down here. Greedy gold air. We got rough iron, which is a metallic. That's interesting. What's this one here? True copper. Copper might be interesting. We could do some copper on those. Plate metal, air. I think it's another silver. Yeah, shining silver. The questions. Because we kind of have similar things like on these tomb blades, which is like the color we did here, which ended up, that was that gold color that we just did on the guys, but this had a different undertone. It had a black pearl that we did that over this, because I want to have something that maybe if this is going to be colored and then have this the same color, so that way we kind of tie in the front, because on that box we end up having some color here, but that's pretty much it. There's nothing on the back. So that's why I want to have kind of like something like this, but then some of these things on the back be that color, so we can try to same color here and maybe on this part here. So I'm really trying to figure out, and then of course down there. So that would kind of tie in instead of just having the color sitting there all by himself. So that is that's a good question. And then these things look like kind of like afterburner glowing things. I don't know. We don't really see that on the box. They're just kind of gray with a dark gray. So I guess we could just knock out the gray on those. Yeah, let's try that. To do dark gray. And I guess we could paint that as well. And if we do, but this is really dark. We did the uniform gray, which would be that. I want this to be more of a gray. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if we can grab a brush. Something that we can throw some paint on and see what we get. Phone's making noise. Email, emergency, heat wave, flammable materials, stay inside, drink water, all of that good stuff. Oops. So, what are we going to do on these? We could do the gunmetal. Which we could do that. Maybe we could do the gun in the gunmetal. Let's shake this up a bit and we'll see what we can come up with. Whatever we end up doing, we got a lot of work to do. Not only do we have the gun, the engine, the panels, then they have the guy on the inside, and of course this back piece. Probably do a glow on the back there as well, as far as kind of like that piece there. So we're going to have glow there, glow there, glow there, on top of all these things. We'll do some glow on the gun here, and then we'll have tiny glows on the guns, on these guns here. So we got a lot of glow going on. A lot of glow. So let's see how this goes. And just do a little bit of water in here. Tiny bit. See how this goes. These pieces here. So let's just slap it on there and see how it goes. I forgot this stuff is really, really watery. I shouldn't have added water. Okay. You can make up for it. To find out what's the best way to do this. overwork. I can use it. You can kind of tell I just want to get the just paint it, get it up red. Yeah, no mind-blowing techniques here. Well, yeah, that is what it is. It'll turn out okay. I mean, it just needs to be painted. I don't know why I was having problems. I got a light in my eye. I was like, still trying to find like the sweet spot for the lights and all this stuff that I got. Oh yeah, not too bad. Yeah, it just mirrors that is it the paint? I'm not sure. Okay, so got that there. Got a little bit of silver on there. And then I think with this piece and like this being like a bronze color or something, that'll create that contrast between those colors there. So it won't all bleed into being gray and silver and gray and whatever. And I think that's what we want to end up doing there. And we can do like some greedy gold on the spine on this because that's what I have on these guys. Of course, I don't have any here, but kind of like on the back of this guy. If you look on his back, you see we got like that greedy gold color on the spine, and we'll just do the same thing on this here. So that'll create some contrast as well. Maybe we'll even do greedy gold on this piece here. So I think it'll look all right. Alrighty, let's see if we can knock this other side out. Yeah, I got some work done on my toe, on my feet, since I had some fungus on my feet when I went to Panama, and I've never been able to get rid of it 100%. And so here in Korea, they have laser treatment for all that stuff. So I took the big jump, dipped my toe in, and yeah, we're doing laser treatments for all that stuff. So 10 laser treatments, plus some medications, and maybe I can get some pretty toes back. right now the toe is not, it's not pretty. So it's a little sensitive. We're gonna need a little bit of it. Rinse that out a little bit. So I cut away the sides of my toe because, like on your regular fingernail, but on my toe, it had two real big bad ingrown toenails coming hooking in on each side, and I was like, "Ooh, that was good." So battling that, so they cut a bunch of that out, and I was like, "Oh boy, dude." A tiny bit of water, not as much as last time. Make sure we get that all nice and good and mixed. Don't want to get paint in that ferrule. Okay, so if we can continue on with our little engines here, little engines that could. Be interesting to see what I'm going to do with the inside of this. I don't know if I'll just leave it gray and just call it good. I guess I could do that. Yeah, it's hot in Korea, that is for sure. And for sure. So yeah, that silver looks good. I like that. And we could do the same thing on the gun down here, and then on like these recessed areas, what we could end up doing is just we could take those recessed areas and we could leave that for like the glow. And of course, the glow there on the very inside, we could do the glow, and the rest of this we could do in silver. And then we could end up doing some glow on here, like with these vents or whatever. And then some of the tubes, we could try to do some glow. Same thing along there, so that way we get a little bit of color and contrast. And then we could also make this gun. You also have these here, the hieroglyphics in here as well. Little designs there, and we could put some fluorescent green in there to kind of as a panel liner type thing. We could do that. So yeah, that could work out okay. And just like trying to hold this thing so I don't break any of the guns or anything is kind of the interesting part. So let us just start. We were going to make that gold, weren't we? Damn it. Gold's a pretty good color. We don't have to worry too much about that. On this piece, there we go. Yeah. Try to leave the black as black, and that way we can go back in with some white, and then that'll help us with the green glow, hoping. We could always just do some panel liner for the inside of there. I think we'll be all right. Turned out pretty good, I think. I like it because the silver is really starting to come out with some good stuff. It's strange because this white or this silver is, it really dries quick. Kind of noticed that. Just kind of slapping paint on here to get this thing painted. I was even thinking of doing some dirty down rust and stuff on this thing. I don't know, jury's still out on that. We'll see. We'll see. It looks a little better already. As long as I don't break more guns. Let's continue. Those black. The way there'll be some contrast on that. Orb that goes there. Okay. Not bad. Of course, there is something to be said for painting this as an assembly, but then I wanted to hurry up and get it done. You know, I mean, how long do I really want to spend painting this guy? And yeah, it's kind of like, you know, and like, well, I guess I could paint that too. George said, "Sorry, I haven't been able to comment much. I've been watching on my TV, and I can see a bigger picture." No problem. I don't care. That's fine. I'm just painting. Just something to do. If you can't chat, that's totally fine. And this is just gonna hurry up and get this painted. So nothing too crazy. This is gonna be on the bottom, so it's like, I almost thought about doing this as a sub-assembly to paint this because some of the details, but I think this works. It's okay. And I thought about kind of like on my Doomsday Stalker, putting a green LED in the gun here, but then I was like, because then you run the wire, which wouldn't be too bad, but I'd have to drill that out to run the wire, have it come out the bottom here, and I was like, I don't really want to put up with that. So I was like, that's okay. Well, we got it on the Doomstalker. That'll be, it looks cool on that. But the Silent King, we're gonna do some lights on that guy, because I think that'll really pay off with him. You know, big centerpiece. I think that'll look cool. I'm gonna, I won't say, because I'm trying to get some parts in to do something special for the Silent King. But unfortunately, some parts got canceled by Amazon. So it'll be a kind of a different little thing. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if they just canceled the order because it took too long. So we'll see. Constitutes some of this paint. Let's try to stretch this out. So yeah, I'm liking this already. It's starting to turn out pretty decent. But it would have been kind of cool to have an LED. Yeah, we're doing okay. Pretty good, pretty good. So we'll do the spine in gold. I think we can do this part in silver. Let's just go ahead. Looking at it, I think we can do that in silver. We'll be all right. Again, painting this as a sub-assembly would have been nice, because now there's areas on here that I just can't get to. But that would be kind of down like this anyway, so not bad. You know, not to be bad. So, the question is, oops, you're gonna end up putting this as far as like there. So the silver turned out good. What was that? That was that gunmetal. It turned out that was nice. It was a good color. Of course, metallics you're always going to have. It's always going to pop because you've got those the pigment in there, the metallic pigment in there, the little flakes that shine and all that stuff. And you can actually see that on the you can see how they reflect. They get those little paint particles in there of the silver, and that's what really, it's just constantly shining. So that's what makes that look nice. Okay, so I think we've come to a decent stopping place here. I think we're doing good. This one is we have to do some hot water on that one. But I think we're doing okay. I think this has turned out pretty good. We got a decent amount of paint on here. We did some dry brushing. We got the horseshoes that are looking a different color, and we can always go back with some, obviously some greens and things like that. And then we have the gun on there, and of course those little engines. And we can also do some distress on some of these things. Maybe we could do some rust or grime. Then we'll mix in some gold in here as well, because my thinking is we'll do along this here, we'll do greedy gold, and then we'll have some gold accents on here. And then for this, maybe a brass color. And then we'll have the brass up here, so that kind of ties it in. And then, of course, maybe we can do some greedy gold on the back of this guy. And then since he's flying, we'll also use the metallic green that we used on this guy here. So on his armor, and you can see there, so it's got a real nice metallic green, and we'll do that on this guy as well. So I think that'll turn out really nice. So I kind of figured it, my Air Corps is going to be guys with their, if we see here, his armor plating will be green, that metallic green. And I think that'll set that, I've set that color apart as being the, how can I put it, the Air Corps. So, Swedish Ford says, good morning. Yeah, morning. It is, what time is it here? It's like 2:40 in the afternoon. So, it works. Hopefully you get a good sleep. So we're just kind of finishing up doing a little bit of painting and getting this Ghost Ark command barge going. And I'm just trying to get the tip on my paintbrush squared away. So I'm going to wash this one and this one. We'll do that in the sink, and we should be good to go. Sweet says it's 7:40 in the morning there. Cool. Yeah, I've been up since like 4:30, 5 a.m. So yeah, we are having fun. So we did some work on our guys here. If we can get that to focus. So we did some dry brushing and we got those guys going. We'll go back with the black pearl and kind of get the skeleton on the inside, kind of like his shins and some of those. So we'll get that, and I think we'll do the greedy gold on the back spine, so that'll really kind of pop. So those guys will be sitting on the inside of there. So we got those, and then we ended up doing some painting on the engines here, and then we did some silver on the gun on the bottom, and then we did some dry brushing, a little bit of gray on these pieces here, and maybe do some bronze here and some bronze on here. Yeah, so I think it'll be good. I think it will be good. We got that going on. George says it's 12:41 here in Florida. Is that 12:41 in the afternoon, or is that like after midnight? 12:41. That's a good question. So go ahead. I'll save that there, and I think we'll just go back to the desk and we'll finish up this little video. Uh, George says it's 12:40 a.m. Late or early? Oh, Tennessee. That's right. George is in Tennessee, um, and it's who's in Florida? That Venom, I think, is in Florida. I think that's it there. So anyway, I think we'll get rid of that. So that's what we got going on. We don't have the cool lights or anything. I just want to do some painting and get that done. Do a couple hours of painting, so we're good on that. Other than that, I think we're going to be taking off. I got to get something in my belly because I'm a little thirsty and hungry. So we're going to fix that. I guess I could do my one light. Swedish says my first cup of coffee of the day, and then I finished painting Spider-Man today. Yay! Spider-Man is going to look awesome. That I can't wait to do. Matter of fact, let me check on the status of my order of filament because I need filament to be able to print Spider-Man. So take a look at this. I'll make it easy. 0044. Yep, that's either extremely late or really early, but that does make it easy. Let's see. We got 3 kilo spools of filament is due in. It's in Chicago, Illinois for international distribution. So it's going to be a few days. Uh, okay, so we've got that. The other thing that I ended up ordering was I got my BQ cryo plate. I picked up one of those. I got that. Um, there's another order. Package delayed in transit. That's just another model and some clothes. This is another one. Model's supposed to be due in the 16th of August, but that is also delayed in transit. That's stuck at Chicago International Distribution Center as well. And where's the other thing? Return complete. Your return is completed. Your refund has been issued. Oh, crap. I didn't want a refund. Now it says it's currently unavailable. Damn it. So somebody did an update. Uh, Swedish says, do you order from the USA? Korea doesn't have filament. Korea does have filament, but it's like the no-name Chinese brands, and if it's the if it's like Polymaker or some of the big name filament, what they'll end up doing is I can buy it here in Korea, but they get it from Amazon and then they jack up the price. So sometimes it's a third or half or sometimes double the price. So for me to order it off of Amazon and wait a couple of weeks is definitely cheaper than buying it here in Korea, which is, you know, double the price sometimes. And yeah, it's just, I'm not going to pay that kind of money. We'll see what happens. I don't know. But the one thing, the little smoke machine that I wanted to, that I ordered, that I really wanted for my Silent King, and that's a big model, little smoke machine on there. That item is no longer available. Let me see if I can find it somewhere else. Oh, don't. Damn it. And it was the perfect size too. And all these other ones are like large. That's too large. That's too large. That one's too big. That's too big. That's way too big. They're like the size of a brick are the ones, and the small one that I ordered was like super small. Well, there's a small mini one. That's too big. So maybe I'll do that. Frankie the Fish 77. Howdy from California. Is Warhammer popular in South Korea? Yes, it is. It actually is. And where I'm at here in Korea, there is a game store that has a lot of people that play. And first it was mostly Americans, and then they started getting more and more Koreans, and then Koreans started getting involved in Warhammer. There's an official Games Workshop store in Seoul, and there's also one in Chejudo, which is weird because there's only like 4 people on Chejudo, according to the organizer, of people who play Warhammer down in Chejudo. So I think they try to make money with people flying into Jeju-do, which is an island off the southern tip of Korea. Um, but more and more Koreans are picking it up. So yeah, and even with the big tournament games, there's like you can qualify. Each country has their own country team. Well, a while back, it was pretty much mostly just Americans, and then now Koreans are getting into Warhammer, and now they want their own, they don't want any Americans on their team, which is funny because it's the Americans that got them involved and were the majority of the team a while back. So yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of a weird thing. So hopefully that'll all get sorted out eventually. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Um, I haven't learned how to play Warhammer yet. I'm just in the painting phase, so I don't know. There's a lot of rules. Holy crow, there's a lot of rules. So we'll see how that goes. And the little tiny fog machine that I wanted is out of stock. And that's why it refunded my money. Damn it. So I got to try to, because I want to do uh, the Silent King and have a fog machine. Here's what I wanted to do. Let me show you. This is waiting patiently on the box. But with the Silent King, what I wanted to end up doing is having the fog machine on the back side of this, and then have fog come up around where these guys are at, and then it would spill out onto the table. So I think that would be really cool, and I could probably do that with this model. Um, it wouldn't be too hard to do. Well, I mean, it would be a little hard to do, but yeah, the tiny fog machine that I ordered from Amazon got canceled because apparently somebody didn't keep track of the quantities. So yeah, I was like, damn it. So I'm in the market for a tiny smoke machine. So that's what we got going there. But that's a good question. That's a good question. Frankie says, I haven't played the game since '08. Have just been painting as well. Yeah, I like the painting bit. I really do. I've got a lot of decent figures, um, like my Necrons. So I've got kind of you can see I got some pretty decent Necrons. The bases and everything, and got some stuff going on. So I'm pretty excited about that. They turned out really good. And then like, my Doomstalker. So the Doomstalker here came out pretty good. And then with him, I've got an LED light in there. So I've got the wires running. I got the battery pack, custom printed base, and yeah, so it's got the. I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, some good stuff. And all some other guys. Let's see. So the Glaucosaurus, we finished him up. So he turned out pretty good. Custom base. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm digging the painting. So one of these days I might learn how to I don't know, end up playing, maybe. I don't know. Frankie says, interesting idea. I've seen lights, but no fog yet. That's why I wanted to do the fog. I thought the Silent King with fog just spilling out onto the table, that would be awesome. So that's why I wanted to do the fog machine thing, unfortunately. And they've got a mist maker, but that's mist. I wonder if that could work. Sweetest says, today I'm going to start printing on a new big print. I don't know how big yet, but big. Nosferatu, it will be. Ooh, that'll be interesting. That'll be a pretty wild print. So, yeah, I can't wait to do the Spider-Man. I'm waiting for that filament to come in, so that'll be good. That'll be good. But yeah, the mini fog machine is what I'm looking for. So, not bad. Let's see what happens. There's one there. There's one there. But I need reference pictures. How big? Ooh, that might work. But I think that would look really cool. Just having fog spill out from the Silent King. That would look really hot. So okay. So that's what we got going on. Yeah, fun stuff. A lot of models to do. Still working on my paint booth, so we still got that going on. Yes, we're waiting for it. Yeah, it's going to be a while before we do the Silent King. I got to finish up all the other Necrons, of course. The Ghost Arc, we got to finish that one up. Um, and then I also have the big kit up there, right? Boom, boom, there. That big box there. That's another one. I think that's which one is that? Oh, that's the Necron host. So we've got this to build as well. So, and this one has got a number of characters in it. We got the command barge, wraiths, flayers. Another Doom. We got this one over here, which is a reanimator. So flayers. I got so much stuff that I could do. That's for sure. And again, I got to kind of wait for if I can get that fog machine for the Ghost Arc, and that'll be good. So, but I was hoping to get that mini fog machine, but now we're looking at when towards the end of August. So I don't know. We'll see. There's 3 other ones that I might take a look at. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know. Okay. So that's what we've got going on. And then we also have this guy here, the Wazdaka Gutsmith guy. I've got him because every other Sunday there's a painting class that I'm going to try to learn how to be a better painter, doing actual blending, the whole 9 yards. So we're got all that primed and ready for last Sunday was this previous Sunday was the first class. Take a break, and then next Sunday I think is the next class. So, if I'm not mistaken, what is today? Today is so yeah, we got the paint class on the 16th. So yeah, I've got a little bit of time, but I've got all of that primed, so we're good to go on that. And then on the next class, we'll actually get into doing some more painting stuff. So real painting stuff. So we've got that going on. The big paint booth, we've got that. We still need. I do have the template for the back. Uh, I think that's in the other room. So we can get our AC Infinity fan. We'll be able to print or paint bigger items, kind of like the sword that you see back here. And of course, you got the rifle up there. And of course, when I do Spider-Man, we'll actually have it's like a 60 by 70 by 100 centimeters. 60 centimeters? Yeah, it's 60 centimeters. So it's about 2 feet by 2.5 deep and 100, which ends up being about 3 or 4 inches, 3 feet 4 inches to 3 feet 3 inches or something like that. So it'll be a pretty decent sized paint booth. And then with the AC Infinity fan, that'll look pretty good on that as well. Matter of fact, uh, can my phone work? Can it be a phone today? Phone works. Let's go take a look. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'll try to hold it steady and forgive the mess. That's all some of the bigger stuff that we're doing, some swords and all that. Now this is going to be the paint booth. So like I said, it's 60 this way, 70 deep, and then Z is 100. And so what this will look like is we'll come up here. And there we go. Okay. Um, so we have lights on the inside of this that'll work. Is that one light? It's not light. That's a fan. So that's that. And then we have an AC Infinity fan that we can kind of hit up here as well. And so on the back of this will be a hole for this vent that will attach onto the back. And then we'll have a filter on this side. And then on this back side, we'll have the hole here. And then we'll have tubing go here, and then the fan, and then we'll have another board going over here with some tubes going out towards the back. So yeah, it should end up doing pretty good. So AC Infinity fan, way to go. So, but yeah, this should end up being good. So, light, camera, action, and boom, there it is. So yeah, a lot of fun, a lot of fun. Oh, and then there's another Warhammer guy that we got going on. We've got him. And of course, I've got my helmet for the Doomslayer. I'm still woefully behind on all of that stuff here. And then, of course, I've got this stuff like, little chain sword that we're doing. And of course, the Omniscient axe that we have. We've got that. And then this is another sword that has been woefully on the pile of shame. So it's like, yeah, there's not a lack of things to do. So, yeah. Thanos is looking at me like, seriously, when are you ever going to just get everything painted? I don't know. So many different projects to do. It's going to be fun. Just, I don't know. And then I have Spider-Man that I'm going to be doing as soon as I get that filament in. That's a big project that I want to get done. Super excited about that. So yeah, lots of stuff to keep me busy and retired. So here in Korea. So with that said, I think I'm going to take off. Like I said, I got to get something to eat. If you all could do me a favor, if you could like the video, I would really appreciate that. That would help out the channel. If you could subscribe to the channel as well, that would be a win-win. And then, yeah, if you ever want to contact me, you could hit me up at my email address here. If you want to say hi, or if you have information on how to be a better painter, printer, person, shoot me an email. I always answer back. A bunch of people over here bought me coffee. I love coffee, so there's that as well. Let's see. Swedish Ford says Creality selling from China. Yeah, yeah, but there's an import tax, and it's very complicated. Here's a Since we're going to go on a rant about China a little bit. Ordering stuff from China is hard here in Korea. I don't know what the deal is. Let me just go back to here. Ordering from Korea is hard, and the reason it's hard, I don't understand why they can't figure it out. But every time that I've ordered something from China, because it's so close, it should be easy, right? They mess up my name, um, Stephen Michael Wilson, or however it is it's supposed to be. They screw it up. I have a personal customs code to get stuff when I order stuff from overseas and get it here to Korea. They'll screw up the PCC code. They'll come back and they say, no, that's not the right PCC code. And what happens is it's the right code, but the code doesn't match the name. And when they put my name in their system wrong and the system checks the PCC to see if that's correct, it's not correct. So more often than not, when I order from China, it's just like, I just don't want to order from China anymore because it's always a problem. There have been companies that have said, hey, we would like you to do a review. And I'm like, hey, let's do it. All for it. Honest review. I'm going to give the pros and cons. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, they're like, we're totally fine with that. It's There's no way they can get the products here. It's like, no, your PCC number doesn't match your name. And I said, well, here's my name and here it is on my passport. And it's the exact same way on my PCC. All of those have to be the same here in Korea. Don't add any dashes. Don't put a comma between the first name and the middle name and the last name or whatever. And for some reason, I don't understand, but the people that I've had to deal with can't figure it out. And either the person I talk to that says, yeah, we're going to send this to you to review, they understand, but when they send it to the shipping department murders my name or the PCC, and usually it's a name thing. So I've had a Chinese company send me stuff, and they said, "Well, did you get it yet?" And it's like, "No. Where's the tracking number?" "Oh, well, we'll get back with you." And it's like, "Well, yeah, I can't. I can't. It's not here." And then they ask me, "Well, where is it at?" "I don't know. I don't have a tracking number. I'm still waiting for you to send me a tracking number because I don't know where it's at." And then I had some Chinese company say, "Well, it's in the customs house," and I said, "I've got nothing." And apparently they think that you just call customs and, oh, yeah, we got your shit. No, it doesn't work that way. If they mess up my name, and I've actually had this happen, they've messed up my name because Steve Wilson, what are the odds that somebody else is going to have the same name? Apparently, there's a number of them. There's different Steve Wilsons, and so there's different PCC numbers. So I can't just say, hey, well, what's the PCC number for this? Because they'll do the check, and it's like, no, there's nothing there for me with my correct name and my PCC. So if they butcher my name and they've actually had it where it was Michael Wilson or Michael Wilson, um, and it was the wrong PCC, so Korea sent it back. Well, yeah, because there's no PCC goes to Stephen Wilson, which is me, not Michael Wilson, even though Michael's my middle name. So the shipping department in China ended up having, they just can't get their shit together. So um, I've had companies that are like, well, we sent it, it's there. And it's like, so where's the shipping number? This one took over a month of going back and forth. And they sent me a shipping tracking number. The problem is the tracking number is for a Chinese company that's in China. They don't have a tracking number when it leaves China and comes to Korea. I said, well, all I see is that it goes to some shipping warehouse and that's it. That's all I see. And it's like, well, it's shipped from there. You should have it. And it's like, I have nothing. And it's not like I can call the customs house and say, hey, my name's Steve, blah, blah, blah. Got a YouTube channel. I'm expecting a package from China for this, this, and this. If it's, they take my name, my number, and that's it. I mean, and it's hard to get a hold of people. And usually, since everything is automated nowadays, if I do get something with my correct name and my PCC number, I will get a notification that's sent to me. So it's no problem. For China just can't figure out how to get the stuff into my greedy little hands. And if you mess up my name, it's not going to match my PCC number, so it will not leave customs. They'll send it back. So yeah, it's just like, yeah, I don't know what the deal is. It's absolutely crazy. Uh, Swedish Ford says, now I understand that you are sending from the US. So ordering from Amazon is infinitely better than trying to get something from China. I mean, it's almost like it would be easier for me to go to China, get the product, and fly back here than go through all the red tape because they can't figure out what is a surname, what is your first name, what is your family name, what is your middle name, all of that stuff. And it's like, I don't know what to tell you. I have written it down and copied it and sent it to you all. Make it exactly like this. No extra spaces, no commas, as exactly as I have printed it out and put it in scanned form, in texted form, written form, the whole 9 yards. They still cannot figure it out. And so it's like, I don't know what to tell you. I've given, and here's the thing, I have gotten stuff from other countries like Germany, Harder and Steenbeck for my airbrush. No problem. They get it. Wilson, Stephen, Michael, PCC number, boom, there it is. Here's my address. Okay, there it is, boom, and I get it. It's not a problem. And there was another country that I ordered from. I think it was England. I got an item from England, and the same thing: name, PCC number, boom, good to go. Address, no problems whatsoever. China doesn't. I don't know what they need to get their shit together. Uh, Swedish says it's like I don't ship from the U.S. because it's twice as expensive with shipping and everything. Yeah, I totally get it. So that's why I don't order from some Korean businesses because that's all they do. They order through Amazon, they get it, and then they mark it up, you know, half or two or sometimes even three times the price that I can get it off of Amazon and have to wait a couple of weeks. So, yeah. What do you do? What do you do? I don't know. And then I think there's actually a gremlin. There's an Amazon gremlin that if there's something that you really, 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 really want off of Amazon, like that little fog machine, oh yeah, you're not going to get that because you want it too much. So it's like, damn it. Um, Maybe I just need to trick the Amazons. I don't really want this. I don't really want it. Just have that, and then maybe it'll actually get sent to me. But it's always the cool stuff that gets canceled. It's not like the just the boring stuff. It's the cool stuff that gets canceled. Like, oh, I really really wanted that. No, it's like it's all done and over. So the joys of living overseas. What can I say? It is what it is. Little frustrations that happen. have to put up with. So, anyway, so that's the ranting and raving for this. Like I said, if you all could do me a favor and if you could hit the like button, I would really appreciate that. Again, email, coffee, links, all that stuff. Like, subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. That would help me out. I'm not going to get rich off of YouTube. There's no way. But it's just something that I like doing. I like hanging around the cool kids and the cool people, the smart people, and hopefully some of that rubs off onto me. And liking and subscribing would do a great wonder for the YouTube algorithm, guys. We'll see how it goes. So anyway, that's going to be it. I think we finished up this video. We did some good stuff on our Ghost Ark, as you can see there. And we did a decent amount of painting on there. I think we did some good work on the guys. And eventually we'll get back to doing the next one. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll take that with me tonight and do something. We'll see. Swedish Forge, to see you later. Have a good evening. You too as well, sir. Thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing the final Spider-Man. I can't wait to get started on that. That's going to be awesome. And for everybody else that's watching, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Be sure, like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next video, all right? Have a good one, and peace out. Good stuff.